Hey guys, welcome to another kind of video of me, here on my show, Just Friends, the podcast slash YouTube channel that I just launched, where basically I kind of like talk about the different things and experiences that I go through in my life, from my lens and from my perspective. But of course, and I always repeat this, as I say with all video, the focus and the goal of this channel is to bring people closer together and have that unity, and for us to grow as a society together, and as people, of course, not really from an individualistic standpoint, but more of a collective one. And that's really the goal of the channel, to have those serious discussions and those viewpoints. So for today, I want to talk about something really interesting that has bothered my mind for some time, and that is online bullying. So online bullying, right? I think all of us who have exposure to social media nowadays, in one way or the other, may have witnessed, may have experienced, or maybe have been on the end of some online bullying. In a simpler term, online bullying is when someone basically abuses you, comes after you, kind of constantly haggles you, maybe insult. Of course, part of it is insulting, derogatory terms, whatever you want to call it, online. And that is something that you see on a much common basis on social media every day nowadays. When I go on Twitter, especially Twitter, actually, almost every comment or every tweet that I see in its comment section, when it comes to a celebrity or a story or something like that, you always see people kind of coming after that celebrity, insulting, kind of bullying, saying some really harsh things, really rude things, based on, his character or behavior, or their character or behavior, or something of the sort. And that got me really thinking about what is exactly the problem behind online bullying, and where does it really start? And for me, all of that kind of came into like a epiphany of an idea, is that when I watched an interview just last week, I don't know when this video comes out, but it was last week, and today is the 21st of July. So this interview was with a footballer named Dele Ali. He plays with Everton Football Club. It was on a show called The Overlap. And Dele Ali is somebody who's exceptionally talented, or he still is, but has kind of fallen from a cliff in terms of pedigree, in terms of being associated with big teams, starting. He's been on a couple of loan moves, and in this interview, he kind of really broke down a lot of the things that have set him back and have put him in a really difficult position. He spoke about a lot of things, but to kind of highlight one thing that he mentioned was that he did understand that, or he did realize that people come at him a lot online and criticize him and kind of say negative things to him or about him online, and that can get to players. That really shows that even if a person is a celebrity or a famous person, they can be really vulnerable. And I kind of understood a little bit what he said, because nowadays when I really go online on Twitter, I see people saying all the time really hurtful things over the stupidest things. Like, it's honestly dumb. Like, really a very simple topic about somebody just being caught, maybe shoplifting, or a celebrity, or a person doing something like ignorant or dumb, and you see people coming out and saying the most harshest, rudest, strongest of words towards that celebrity. In sports especially, you see it elevated to another level. You see it in sports a lot nowadays, where if a team or if a player causes a loss, a lot of people online, they come after the player's family, they insult them, they say derogatory terms, very hateful, very negative. But aside from sports, which is actually, I think, another tier or another level of aggressiveness or aggression, it generally, now I cannot, like, almost every post I see online, there has to be something hurtful and negative, demeaning towards somebody, and that really got me thinking, like, what is going on here? Why do people always lash out and and come out very aggressively on social and come and really attack people for simply maybe having a bad day or having a kind of like a naive moment, or even stating opinion. Like someone can state an opinion on a tweet or say what they think, and right away people are gonna come and attack them. That's when I realized that social media is just a microcosm of what society really is, right? And society, there's its good side and its bad side. And what I mean by that is that in society, you will find people that will always talk hateful stuff, will always spew negative comments, will always kind of want to hurt people in a negative way. Like in real society, you will find those bullies. You'll find those people that are always out there to just cause, mayhem and evil in a sense, and want to kind of make people feel bad about themselves, and say those. And that is because it's a reflection of, look, I can only deduce what's the reason, but what I think is that I think that's just because it's a reflection of how they view their lives and what's the state of their lives in those moments. And they want to reflect that, and they want to really impact the person's mind negatively because of that. And unfortunately, it's something that has been really spiraling out of control, and it's been going in a crazy manner. Like, it's escalating and it's getting worse by the year, right? Ever since social media exploded, I think in the mid-2000s, it's been on a trajectory where negativity and hatefulness has been growing and growing and growing over the most stupidest and ludicrous things. Some people do it because they are dealing with stress, and that's for them. It's the only way how to kind of release that stress and navigate through what they're going through. And it's really easy, right? Because social media amplifies it. It's so easy and simple for somebody to go behind the keyboard and start typing things, knowing there is no real consequence, right? There is nobody policing social media. Social media in itself is an expression of freedom of speech, right? So there's no policing what people will say. So it's very easy for somebody to say something on behind the keyboard, and that can be that can have no barring or any consequences, consequences at all, and no ramifications. And that is really like a big problem, as you can see. So, and it's truly painful when someone reads something about about their family being insulted, about them personally being character assassination, about them defamation, whatever you want to call it. It really hurts when somebody sees that someone has written about them something that's hurtful, simply. But what I really want to talk about today, specifically, obviously, online bullying and the different types of, the different kinds of online bullying that I've noticed and that I've seen. Not just your typical bullying where, people can say the one-off comment here and there, right? That it is the constant harassing. It's a constant, stalking, remarking. A lot of, I think we see it a lot in these documentaries and even these Netflix shows where some storylines are created behind how a circle of online bullying really can affect and cause depression for some people. I'm always reminded by these interesting stories that interesting stories that I read out of Korean manhwa. There's a comic in Korea where you read like comics. It's called manhwa, and a lot of those manhwas are actually centered around bullying and how online bullying destroys someone's life, especially when they're in high school. So the kind of different bullying with the points that I want to talk about, so there are like a few of them, and basically they're just kind of like a breakdown of what I think bullying online really represents. So I think these are the types of online bullying that I see the most, which is, when a person is posting something, you always find that one guy or one girl or whoever they are with that one account that is always posting something negative, like always posting something negative or insulting or derogatory or bad all the time, no matter if it's a nice picture, no matter it's an average picture, no matter it's just a moment, they're always going to be commenting something bad or insulting. And then you find basically others who develop friendships and relationships through being online, right? And then they share those secrets because, of course, there are people that are looking for those intimate affections and they want to build that relationship or friendship with somebody online. And what happens is they get tricked in the sense of someone basically starts trashing their reputation and starts talking shit about them. And that really, I've seen, and I'll talk about it maybe a bit later, I've seen some cases where people have really like killed themselves because of this, where they've had friends, or they've developed friendship thinking that they can trust that person. But however, that wasn't the case. It didn't happen like that. What happened was someone just basically wanted to get some, secrets from them and then blackmail them to get what they want. And then eventually it ends up with a tragedy, unfortunately. And there's, of course, celebrity bullying. Now, look, everybody's going to maybe laugh at this and tell me, celebrities, they make so much money. Who cares who says anything about them online? Hey, guess what? Celebrities are also human, my friend. They also feel hurt when somebody talks bad about them. You think, and imagine, it's not just one or two, it's millions of people. Because you're a celebrity, everybody knows you. You probably should be developing a thick skin if you're a celebrity, and if you're somebody that, somebody who is always going to be exposed to the spotlight, and you have to develop this immunity to what people are going to be saying about you. But the point still remains. They're fucking human beings. It's not easy for somebody to handle all that, negativity. When you're not raised in an environment where you're always, like, we were not raised in an environment where negativity was there, unless, obviously our parents were abusive and stuff. That's different. But generally speaking, people are not raised in an abusive environment where their parents are, I wouldn't say most, because there will be a lot of people telling me, there's actually a good number of families that are broken and abusive relationships are happening. But let's say that if you're raised in a good home, you're not used to such negativity. You're not used to such insults. So sometimes one critique or one criticism towards you can really be like, you're going to take it on your art. So then when you're a celebrity and you're dealing with millions of people around the world, it can really affect you mentally. Like, it can really, really affect you mentally. And that's why I think I understand when a lot of celebrities say that they may love the acting and the movies and being part of the movies, but they don't like everything that's associated with that, which is, dealing with Hollywood in America's case, or dealing with production houses, or dealing with people in a sense, and of course dealing with fans who like you, which is a good thing if you want to feel their gratitude, and also who dislike you and want to come after you every single time. I also noticed this trend about celebrities, and I think I've just seen a few recently where there's a couple of basketball players where one of them is called Dwight Howard. He plays in Taiwan now. He used to play for the Lakers. He's an ex-NBA player. Honestly, one of the best that I've seen in the last 15, 20 years. Now people are clowning him because apparently there were some screenshots about, him trying to have some sort of threesome with a guy. People are calling him gay. And there's another basketball player, his name is Zion, where he's one of the women he slept with was a porn star or is a porn star, and they're clowning him and they're messing with him. But going back to the Dwight Howard example, people are calling him gay and they're coming after him, and they're really coming after him. And I think this is what a lot of people don't realize. It's funny. It's all jokes and it's all laughter and it's all comedy until it's really not, and until something really happens that damages the person for life. Then when that happens, we all wake up and be like, oh, well, that wasn't really funny after all, was it? You see, people have a certain threshold. It's not easy, and they will take in all that hate and negativity and all that abuse. But there'll be a point where they'll just blow up and they can't, and they'll start thinking to their head and they'll be saying, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to go through this? What have I done to those individuals who come and attack me? They will try to rationalize the jokes and the insults and whatever people are in whatever people's mind whenever they want to come up with those comments, or whatever is their state of mind in those instances. And that's the problem. When somebody is just finding it so easy to just type whatever they want to say, and they don't understand the consequences and how it affects people. It's like a continuous cycle. It will not stop. And I think when, as a community, if you see somebody doing it, you're also gonna get comfortable doing it as well. And then 1 becomes 2, and then 2 becomes 5, and then 10, 5 becomes 10, 10 becomes 100, and so on. Because as species, we are more aligned to do what the collective is going to do, what the group is going to do, compared to the individual. So we get more comfortable when we see 1 or 2, 3 people saying something like that, but then we just jump in. And a lot of the time, trust me, a lot of the time, these people don't even know what they're talking, like, they don't even know what topic they're talking about. They just see, oh, gay, Dwight Howard, they come and say this. So it's really sad, in a way. It's really sad. And again, the message of my channel is all about bringing us as people together so we can be more harmonious, more understanding, more united, more empathetic. And all that shit about online bullying is completely against all of that. And that's why, to me, I really dislike this. Like, you gotta pick your words carefully, man. You gotta pick your words carefully. Like, it really affects how people are. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. And this is something I personally accept. This is the nature of this world. This is the nature of this world. We are different personalities, different perspectives, different mentalities. We come from different backgrounds. Everybody doesn't think the same. And you can't control what you can't control. Everybody's going to act in a certain way. What you can control, however, though, is your reaction. And as the saying goes, actions can be controlled, but your reaction to those actions can be controlled. And that's really what it comes down to. But from a personal standpoint, it really hurts me and bothers me a lot when somebody that, when it's somebody that is on the brink and is suffering and is really like having to live their life in a way where they're on edge, and then that one comment or one kind of remark by somebody pushes them over the cliff, and that's it. There's no turning back, or there's no coming back. They're gone. Depression, suicide, probably as well in many cases, and a lot of different things. They might even hurt other people, and that's what I mean. I think that's why it's so important that every single person plays their role in a way. Like, you don't focus on others. You focus on yourself by playing the role of not being that antagonistic person who comes after people online and just joins the herd for the sake of joining the herd and just jumping on the bandwagon and saying negative and hateful and hurtful things. So this all comes down to the fact that we are intrusive creatures, right? We think that if somebody shares a part of their lives with us, athletes, actors, celebrities, even our friends online, because when we are on social media, people share their lives online with us. So we think we have some sort of legitimacy when we want to make a comment about their lives. So we that gives us the right to kind of say things in a way where we don't have any understanding or any context behind it. We just like to just jump to the first kind of a spicy story or the first bad conclusion and just make our feedback on it and let things spiral out of control. That's just our nature, because we just think we're entitled to everything. As human beings, we're very selfish creatures, man. It's just crazy. Like, we think everything is around us. Everything is on us, right? When you walk on the street, you don't notice the ants you're stepping on, right? Well, you don't really care. They're so small, you don't really give a shit. You by nature, you're some human beings. You the person, you're just a selfish person generally. And you think about, if you aren't, if you're not, well, that's good. That's really good, and I applaud you for that. But most people aren't. Most people are selfish. They don't think about the other person. Just because someone let them a small, sneak in or a small insight to their life, they think that they know everything, and they start commenting and they say things about them, and that's just not good. That's not a good thing. But the counter argument to all of this is that, well, you're a famous person, right? You're somebody who's been around social media for a long time, just develop thick skin. You can't take every comment seriously, but you can't really like think that everybody is going to be. You can't think that everybody's gonna come after you. Just whatever, you accept the good and accept the bad, right? And I do see a lot of people do that. When sometimes when even among my own friends, like they'll turn off the comment section when they're posting, or on Twitter, for example, you can limit the mentions to certain people when you're tweeting something, and that is really to protect yourself, right? A lot of people do not want to. When people, for example, all the time you see this when a celebrity or somebody does a PR statement or some sort of apology or whatever it is, an official statement, they'll always limit or they'll turn off the comment section. They don't want people to talk about that. When, players apologize for a loss, they will turn off the comment section. And you find that all the time. But that's true. You should develop thick skin in the social media world because you can't be hurt or take every comment seriously. There are other things. There are something that you need to be aware of. Do you know why some people do that? Turn off the comment section, all that, because a lot of the times, online bullying amplifies the insecurities that they have within themselves, and you see it. Like I've read it with celebrities like Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato, where they said that people have called them ugly and not good looking, and it hurts them even more because within themselves they feel like they're actually, not good looking or ugly or they don't look that special, and it hurts them, right? It hurts them. I've read that somewhere where they mentioned that, and it's very true. If you feel something is lacking about yourself, and people are talking about it or mentioning it, it's like the doubt in your mind becomes even stronger because you're like, oh, this is how they look at me? What I have thought all these years must be right. Like, I really do have weird eyes. I really do. My shoulders look funny to me, right? Like, oh my God, it's true. If I see it, they all see it. And then you start thinking that everything and every flaw about you is being seen. It is being shown. And unfortunately, it doesn't end there. It just doesn't end. It's so scary, man. Like, it just doesn't stop. And this is the consequences of online bullying. Like, you start hating your life. It doesn't matter if you make so much money. It doesn't matter if you are somebody who is, with everything that you do, you will start hating the life that you're living because of how people see you and how you feel your insecurities are being projected. It's just a painful process. But what makes me really sad isn't the celebrities. What makes me really sad is the young people that go on social media and they get abused, they get like chased after, hurt, stalked, a lot of different things, and those are the ones that make me really hurt and sad, right? Because it shows the ugly side of people. It shows what people are willing to do just to feel better in their day. It shows what people are willing to do just to trick somebody into upping their self-esteem, allowing them to fix their inferiority complex, right? Because they feel inferior, they want to feel better by attacking someone. That is what's the most painful part for me. So I read the story of a girl who had epilepsy, and she was 13 years old. It was a story I read a couple of weeks ago, and her classmates and friends started making fun of her online and kind of bullying her and saying certain things about her, and she fell into depression, and she ultimately killed herself, committed suicide. No words, honestly, no words. I mean, what can you say? It's just brutal. It's so sad. And people will be like, kids are kids. You can't control how kids act in those ages. No, it's about educating these kids. It's about making people understand the impact that online bullying, social media, the negativity that social media can bring, how easy it is for someone to say hurtful things and isolate someone online and say really do really, really bad things about them. It's not a simple case. And for me, like it's something that it's easy for someone to just be pushed and fall into depression and misery and anguish because of this. So people have to reflect how they act in real life and online. What's my advice maybe for somebody who is probably going through this or who wants to avoid something like this? All I'm going to say is this. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, or in my first episode in the introduction that I did, I'm not expert in any of these fields. I can just give you my opinion, my perspective on probably how someone can handle these situations. And the best thing I can say is that know this. People will attack you no matter what. And the people that attack you and say hideous and negative things about you online are just weak and frail people. They're just scared. They're people with no character. They're people with no sense of pride. They just want to project their insecurities and their fear on you because they're simply scared. And you have to accept that us human beings, we all have our good sides and we all have our bad sides. And people are going to continue coming at you, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they're stressed, whether they're depressed, whether they're sad, whether they just want to bully someone, whether they just want to make fun of someone. People are going to continue coming at you. That's the way the world is, and that is one of the ugliest sides of humanity, unfortunately. And that is something that's going to be ongoing way beyond my time and way beyond your time. So understand this, accept this, and realize the position of those people and where they're coming from when they say certain things about you. Just scared. And you're much more braver than them. You're better than them. You are. Because you have self-respect. You have dignity. You have a strong sense of pride. You trust in yourself. And you wouldn't do that to others. So bravo to you. Fuck those people. And keep living the life that you deserve. Thank you all. See you in the next episode.